Hey guys, day 21. When we bought this car, the engine was idling pretty good. I think you remember that too, Rick. And what has happened is I think there's been a steady vacuum leak problem. This engine's now surging after we've gotten the bodywork done, paint done, interior done, and we got a car show in 2 days. So what we're going to do is the next clip is going to show you the engine surging, and then we are going to take off the intake off the top of the engine. We'll videotape everything for you so you can see taking this apart. And we are in search of a vacuum leak. We've changed out, want to zoom in here, Rick? We've changed out the idle control sensor. That's brand new, 60 bucks. We also changed out this sensor, air intake sensor, 40 bucks. Did not fix the problem. We've looked through all the lines. We've checked out everything. The air cleaner is clean. It's a brand new air cleaner actually when we bought the car. Surprise, surprise. And at this point, we still have this engine surging. So here comes the engine surging, and then we're going to take her apart. That is the surging. Hopefully on the video you can hear the idle going up and down, up and down. This is actually doing pretty well. There it is. Hang on a second. I don't know if you can see in the video of the engine going up and down. There it is. But that's the surge right there. You heard the engine going up and down. It's compensating through the sensors. And these are all brand new sensors right here. These two. And that should control that idle, but it's not. WD-40. A restorer's best friend for getting bolts off. So what we're doing is we're spraying a little bit of WD-40 onto all the bolts that we're going to need to loosen up and take off to get off this intake. Okay, removal of the cool air intake. One screw here, one screw there, and then just pull it back. And now we have this to take off. 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4 below. Alright, so we've removed these 4 bolts. This right here is actually your cruise control. And this has a little snap on it, and zoom around. Can you see that pin? This actually snaps onto that pin. You pull it back, and it snaps off. And then there's a small spring here, and you loosen that up and lay that there. And then I'm taking these 4 bolts off. We're taking that off. Okay, so we've got these 4 bolts out. The intake is loose, and these 2 sensors right here. Here's the $60 sensor, the $70 sensor. Unplugging that right there, and then unplugging this one from the back. Be careful not to pull on the wires. You want to get your thumb underneath here and push it back, or a screwdriver. Be careful, you don't want to break them. But get those off. And then now, moving these lines out of the way, this will come right out, like so. And you can disconnect the throttle by this pin right here. This pin goes into this hole. And this bracket right here is 10 millimeter bolts. This bracket holds on the cruise control, and this is your gas. 7/16 for the back bolt that has the support for the cables right up directly on the intake. Off to AutoZone to get a wrench, and I want to give props to Richard for that $20 donation. Thank you very much, my friend. We at Auto Body Man appreciate the support for the video series. We're very grateful. 1-inch wrench you're going to need for this this bolt right here, and keep putting WD-40 on it. Try to break it loose because it's a bugger. Alright, so we broke it free. So what we did was we did a lot of banging on it like this. We tightened it, we loosened it ever so slightly, and we got it to break free. So it's actually upside down, so you're actually turning it clockwise to loosen it, but it's a typical thread. And we got it off. You missed a lot of the tapping, but we got it. Suspicious that the EGR valve is bad, and it looks like it's been sealed and everything. So what we did was we bought another one. This will set you back $90, but we will be putting this onto the new EGR valve on when we put the intake back on. Let me show you where it's at. EGR valve's right here, back here. 2 bolts right here, and then this honking big 1-inch right here that goes up underneath it and tightens up on it. So EGR valve is out. Remove the line off here, off the back. You got a little metal clip you got to deal with. You got to get pliers in there and open it up and get that out. These are Ricky's hands because he was so excited about breaking the bolts on the intake. He's been looking at these things since the beginning of the project, and we are now loosening up this bolt down here, and a bolt down there, and a bolt up here, which also holds the bracketing for the cables. So we're loosening those up now to remove the air intake. Okay, so we've taken all the bolts out now, and we're removing the cover. And we've got vacuum lines that we need to deal with now. Okay, this is what it looks like with the intake off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts to hold it down on top. Alright, so we took a photograph of this wiring before we took it all out from underneath. Just for memory's sake, and it's good for you to do too when you do it. We went and bought some new hose, some brand new hose. And we're going to replace all these lines and also this line right here. So it's nice, brand new, soft, flexible hose. This hose is 17 years old, and we're suspicious that it's giving us a vacuum leak. We also, this piece was fractured, and we're hoping it fractured before we took off the air intake, and we got some new lines that we're going to be able to put the hose together and recreate what was underneath before we put it back on.